What's going on, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. With the Justice League Snyder Cut finally here, there are so many new faces that we're going to see, one of them of course being Darkseid. Now, Batman vs Superman teased him during the Nightmare sequence, but we didn't really get a whole lot of him. I mean, of course, because Zack Snyder had to step off of the project, but just how menacing is Superman's biggest villain? Well, I'm Taylor McWatters, and here are the top 10 Darkseid facts you need to know. Let's get caught up. Number 10, his origins. He made his first debut in the world of comics back in 1970 in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, issue 134. He was born into the royal family of Apocalypse. He is a brutal dictator and he rules the planet. His main goal reaches further than just the planet. He actually wants to rule all of life in the universe, us included. Ooh. Now, his creator Jack Kirby wanted him to be this horrible, big, brooding space leader, and I think it worked out pretty well. His first given name is Euxis, and like I said, he was royalty, so that's Prince Euxis, and he had a brother named Drax. They were both sons of King Yuga Khan and Queen Hegra. Drax was the cool, peaceful brother, and Euxis, well, he had a different mindset growing up, you could say. And before we go on to number 9, if you guys could go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, that would be great, because it really does wonders for us here at our channel. Thank you so much for hitting that thumbs up. Now let's go back to some more Darkseid facts. Number 9, name day. So what made Darkseid into this almighty, powerful, evil being? Well, he started out as the jerk brother, and then one day when Drax was trying to make a connection to the Omega realm and take his god name, mean brother Euxis came around and interrupted the whole thing, Kanye West style, and then he took the power all for himself. What a jerk. Now, the worst part in all of this, yeah, it does get worse, I guess, than your own brother, you know, going away forever. The worst part is that when he took the power, his brother Drax didn't survive the process, supposedly. Then when Euxis came out of the chrysalis that formed around his body, he took on the name of Darkseid, the most feared in all of the god names. No one else dared to take his name. It's kind of like see, I can't even say it now. They'll bleep it out. I can't say that name. It's that bad. Number 8, dceu. What's a supervillain without a super sidekick? This is a crazy friendship, let me tell you that. Okay, so dceu is in the Snyder Cut Justice League, and we saw glimpses of him in the trailers, but just who is he to Darkseid? Why is he so close? Making his first debut in the Forever People issue 2, dceu met Darkseid back in his early Euxis days, when he traveled to New Genesis and he met a young man who was known to be peaceful in nature. He was a peaceful young man. So Euxis saw potential in him and released his pet bird. He then told this young man that his pet cat had eaten this bird and that he convinced this poor guy to punish the cat and bury it alive. Yeah, so sad, so wild and mean. And then the bird returned and this guy's like, sorry, what? So the cat's gone and the boy got so mad that he strangled the bird, and then that was the turning point for him. Now we got an evil sidekick who is Darkseid's most trusted advisor and would probably refer to him as a friend. It's always nice to have friends, even if you're Darkseid, you know, we all need friends. We only see glimpses of him so far in the Snyder Cut trailer, but he looks pretty menacing off of just those clips. Dceu is an ancient new god and a member of the Apocalyptic priests, being loyal to Darkseid, and he helped out Steppenwolf back in the original Justice League. Oh, who's Steppenwolf? Well, number 7, Uncle Steppenwolf. So he turned a peaceful guy into a non-peaceful guy, into an evil sidekick. But what if I told you he actually turned his uncle to the dark side as well? So part of his master plan to take out more rivals, Darkseid convinced his uncle, General Steppenwolf, to hunt down the new gods of New Genesis just because, you know, just for fun. Instead of fishing and bonding, nah, we're gonna go pick some fights with some new gods. See what happens, mix it up a little bit. So Darkseid went with his uncle and helped him out. Darkseid took out Avia, the wife of the ruler of New Genesis, Isaiah. So Isaiah in turn took out Uncle Steppenwolf, but fear not guys, fear not. Darkseid brought him back from the dead, and then that's when a war began between Apocalypse and the New Genesis. Number 6, Omega Effect. That symbol right there in the ground is the Omega symbol. That belongs to Darkseid, and it's basically the signature of the end times. Darkseid's chest also looks like that symbol as well, so you've probably seen it in some way, shape, or form. Darkseid got his powers from an energy called the Omega Effect, so he blasts these Omega beams out of his eyes. They're super cool looking red lasers that bounce off walls. It's insane. They look so good in live action as well. They can lock onto a target and make sure it never misses, and it disintegrates the target as well. well, poof, gone. They are powerful enough to take down Kryptonians, they can destroy planets, and if you think that the Flash can outrun these beams, think again, my friend. They can catch up to speedsters, and his father could generate Omega beams as well, and Darkseid can of course resist those beams. Superman and Doomsday are the only beings that were able to survive the Omega beams. Cyborg Superman didn't do too bad as well. That sounds weird. Why does that sound so weird? Number 5, Omega Sanction. Another ability that was given to Darkseid with the Omega effect was the Omega Sanction. It's also referred to as the life trap, and this sounds even worse than the death beams, to be honest. The death that is life, the Omega Sanction, when used on its victim, basically traps them in an endless loop of multiple lives, but each life lived is more depressing than the one before it. I feel like I'm on life 4 right now. I don't know, I just have a feeling. He used this on Batman in Final Crisis issue 6. And he's even used it on Superman. Number 4, the anti-life equation. The anti-life equation was a mathematical formula said to allow those who knew it to dominate the will of any sentient race. And it's the main goal of Darkseid's to achieve. It came around to comics with Forever People issue 5. And it was actually believed to have disappeared along with the death of $billion Bates. He took it to his grave in his mind, yet Darkseid still continued to search for it. Darkseid ended up making clones of $1 billion Bates in order to access the equation. There were other goals with these clones as well. Like for example, the equation was supposed to be used for good. It was supposed to enforce goodwill among the population of Apokolips and Earth, but the equation with Darkseid itself was against free will and voluntary goodwill, so now it's bad news bears. Number 3, Parademons. In the original Justice League, we got to see the Parademons in action. The Parademons came into the comics with New Gods issue 1, and they are genetically created in Apokolips laboratories, and they serve as Darkseid's loyal, disgusting looking army. Like the Chitauri in Avengers, only more terrifying in every way. Whenever Darkseid was going to claim a planet, usually he would send in these guys to sweep the area rid of anybody who dares stand in his way. And then he comes down to claim the planet himself with his big nasty fingers.
I have turned worlds to dust. All of existence shall be mine.
They're a gross looking army though. They come in swarms, they follow commands blindly, and in the Justice League film we see just where these things come from. They are other life forms that Darkseid defeated, and now their organic material is restructured into becoming a parademon. In the comics, their abilities are pretty awesome for a mindless horde. I mean, for starters, they have fire breath, and when they're in a pickle, they can just make themselves explode just to get out of it, you know? So if you're ever in a tough spot, just, blow up. That's how you solve problems in the DC universe. Number 2, mother boxes. A mother box is also referred to as a change station. It is a perpetual energy matrix of apocalyptic origin, and back when Uncle Steppenwolf came to Earth during his invasion thousands of years ago, 3 mother boxes were left on Earth, so they were left in the safe company of Amazons, Atlanteans, and humans. Cyborg's creation in the Justice League movie showed us a mother box fusing itself to Victor's body, giving him the upgrade of a lifetime. Number 1, weakness. So after all of this basic knowledge about Darkseid and with him being the central villain in the Snyder Justice League, is there a way to win? Like when push comes to shove, do we actually have a chance against this dude? Well, yeah. See, in order for Darkseid's Omega effect to work, he must have X element absorbed into his body. And also, as menacing as Darkseid is, he fears his father more than anything. Yuga Khan, who I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is the one being in the universe far more powerful and evil than Darkseid. He's more cruel towards Darkseid than Darkseid is to any of his own children. So Darkseid and all the new gods are also vulnerable to a substance called Radion. Now, the average new god can be taken out by a Radion blaster or Radion bomb. Darkseid has been known to take 2 hits and survive, however. So you're gonna need quite a bit if you're gonna go take him down. Well guys, there you have it. Darkseid is ruling this 4-hour Snyder cut, and I implore you to check it out if you haven't already. You can see those mean Omega beams in action, and it looks so beautiful. It's so good. Guys, I've been your host, Taylor McWatters. You've been you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Top 10 Nerd, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.